Hello family, how are you? Well, let me appreciate, boo 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 boo. We have finally reached 200 subscribers. Yes! Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for continuing to like and inviting your friends to subscribe. Thank you for commenting, and I really do appreciate the comments, I must say. And also, please put on the notification. It helps so that when the video comes up, you're the first one to watch it. So thank you so much. Let's just continue on this journey together on what marriage means to me with your host, SC Zulu. Okay, so let me start with my disclaimer. It's important that I do this disclaimer, right? Because I use my hands to talk. 10 beautiful manicured nails. One was removed by this friend of mine. I won't mention her name, but again, she squeezed it out of excitement, I think. I don't know. So again, it's removed. So in case you see these four nice and the last one being like this, please understand it's not my fault. Like, this girl almost ruined me, but anyway, anyway, today I want to talk about a very sensitive issue, very sensitive topic, because I'm one of the people that was affected by what I will be discussing or talking about. Remember, we are talking about what marriage means to me, and this is always based on my own experiences of marriage life. Yeah, 21 years. Okay, so before I was married, I was in a relationship with someone. And unfortunately for me, that relationship was abusive. Unfortunately for me. It was abusive in terms of physical. It was a physical abuse more than emotional abuse. It was purely physical abuse. I remember this one time we were somewhere with this individual on the road, because of Dala, when we sijola sasijolele emgaqweni, right? So we were there and these guys passed by, right? And in their passing by, they made some comments in appreciating, hey, Spambani, you have a beautiful girl, yabo. So I don't know what triggered him. I do not know what triggered him. But I remember I was wearing a new skirt that I just got. It had buttons in the center, right? So, okay, he responded to them in a bad way. Okay? So, I what sketi, like, guys, was dabula. It's get some buttons. I remember hearing sound. And I had to go back home because that's short at that time. So I know the effects of abuse. I know how traumatic abuse is. I know how painful abuse is. I know the trauma of the abuse. And it's even painful when the abuse is done by the one that you say you love. It's done by the one that you believe or think is supposed to protect you. But you know, when we were younger, I do not know now, but when we were younger, one of the things, misconceptions that were going around and that we believed at that time was that when a guy hits you, right? When a guy hits you, it is a sign that the guy loves you. We believed that. I remember where I think it was a Monday during a lunch break, or a Tuesday during, it was a Monday during lunch break. So some days we'll come together as girls, because I went to an all-girls school, and we'll talk. We'll say, and how was your weekend? What happened? And then when I would share, or somebody else would share, would say, hey, this weekend my boyfriend hit me, and it would be like, Campella, oh, I was sorry. But you know what that means. This guy loves you. He's so jealous of you. And that saying, it made us at that time, including myself, it made me believe, Wuti, it was okay to be beaten. I thought it was okay, and I thought being beaten was a sign of being loved. Only to find out when I was married that it was not. It is not a sign that a guy loves you when he beats you up. It is not. So that is what we used to say with our friends during iskole, in our lunchtime, saying, Wuti, ukshawa is because the guy loves you. Ukshawa does not mean that the guy loves you. It means that the guy has issues right? Fortunately for the guy, he was able to say after some time, ukuthi, the reason I was like this, or the reason I'm like this, is because I'm jealous. Yabo, nginesikhwele, to say nginesikhwele, I'm jealous. I want you for myself. I don't want you to share. I don't want any guy to speak to you or to look at you. I don't want you around any guy. I just want you to be with me. Yabona like umuntu in a relationship ekufake I think amatom. So it was like that. So his reasons for abuse were purely jealousy. Fast forward, now I'm married, and I'm bringing in this relationship, in this new relationship, a baggage of the past. Some of the baggage that I'm bringing is a baggage that I am unaware of that I have. Some of the baggage I know, and some of the baggage will be sparked by what will transpire in the marriage. You understand? So it's different. So yeah, I'm married, and I'm married to this guy, wonderful guy. And when we had an argument, I remember the first time we had the argument, right? Guys, freezer. I froze. Yabona, I froze because my expectation was to be slept. My expectation was to be beaten up. Yabo, and you can just imagine the trauma, the fear that I had. Because I went to that space. Of where I knew that after this argument or during the process of the argument, and this thing happened in Jalo. Every time we had arguments with my husband, I would be in the state. And he will ask himself, what's wrong? Yabo. His interpretation will not be what I would expect, because my thinking, in fact, not my thinking, but I will never say to him, this is what I'm going through. But it just happened automatically. It will just happen. Whenever there was an argument, I will just go into this shell, this space where I really feel like it's coming. And let me tell you, that mindset, that thoughts, that expectation, it is traumatic. And even when you open up your eyes and nothing has happened, and you feel your body, no one has hit you, that thing is traumatic. So abuse, it is dangerous, and it's not something you think. You hit someone, you say these words to the person, and be right for the time. It goes with you. Imagine, it goes with you, and it stays with you for years. I had that problem in my marriage. My husband had an issue with me because when I responded in that way, he did not know as to why would I respond in that way, because I was not forthcoming to him at that time. But then this one time, I got an opportunity to open up to him. Then I told him, this is where I come from. This is what I have experienced. And this is why I respond like this. Because for me, when you start talking and arguing and speaking to me out of anger, I go to that space where trauma and expectation of being beaten up. So he made a decision. Well, he had never beat me before, never, or even a slap. He's never done that. But he made a decision. In fact, he prayed about it. He said, I need to pray about this thing because I do not know what could cause me clapping one day to hit you. So I need to pray about this thing. So he prayed about it, and he got a revelation in his prayer that if you were to start to hit spindle, not even if it's a slap, it doesn't matter. If you were to start to lay your hands on her, the enemy will anoint your hands, and you will do it jalo. You will do it religiously. Every time you have an argument, your next instinct would be mshai. Every time you have an argument, you will hit her. On the other side, because of my background, I'm not a very vocal person when it comes to argument. No, I'm kopisani. I think I don't do arguments well. I just don't. I am hula, right? My husband can speak, like he can speak for himself. I just keep quiet. And that is based on how I grew up. I grew up because of my grandmother's work times. Yabo, when he went to work and came in the morning, mina was I go to school, and whatever transpires in my life during the time she is away, she does not know. So I always dealt with my emotions alone. I internalized them. So I'll go to my bedroom, cry myself to sleep, listen to my love songs that will continue and make me sad and be in that state, close the door, cry, and when when I get out of the room, I've dealt with my emotions, right? And I kept that to myself. I'm married, and there's this person who believes in communicating. If you are sad, if you're frustrated, if you're angry, if there's something that you don't understand, let's speak. Me, I'm like, no, what can I say? No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, but no, say something, Splinter. No, it's okay. Because I had to deal with my emotions. It was not easy. It was not easy. It was not an easy thing to do, because it brought a lot of trauma. In fact, even in the early years of our marriage, we just had the thing of imbalance on how we dealt with our issues. Because you like to talk, Mina, I would not talk. Mina, I would internalize. And it was based on a trauma. So, abuse, physical abuse or emotional abuse, it's one of the most painful things that a person could ever encounter. It is very painful, and it does not last. I fade. It takes time, and it needs someone who's going to be patient with you, uzupume in that mode and think and believe ukuthi not all men are like that, and abuse is not normal, and a guy does not love you when he abuses you. It takes a lot of time. My husband had to work in me. I had to work on myself, and I also had to believe ukuthi he is not like my past relationship. I also had to believe that he would not hit me, even though my expectation was that. So I'm a past relationship. If there are things that one has not dealt with, and a potential of ruining your marriage if things are not communicated. There were instances, I can tell you, there were instances really where I was traumatized because of my past experience. And I know what even my husband, if he were to share, given an opportunity to share how he felt when I was in that state, he will say, I felt really bad seeing Uspindile in that state. And obviously, I think he thought probably he's speaking out of term. God, he was not speaking out of term. It was just because mina had ama issues engangena nawo in my marriage. So, marriage is a journey. And people who are married, or people who marry, are two individuals who bring in a baggage. Sorry, who bring in a baggage. There is a baggage that you bring that you are aware of. There is a baggage that you bring that you are unaware of. There is a baggage that you bring that is sparked by the current situation. And then you only see that you have a baggage when you respond in that way. So what marriage means to me? Marriage means no abuse. Marriage means mutual respect. Marriage means not being belittled in the relationship. Marriage means I get to be heard and not be in a space where I fear for my life. That is what marriage means to me. We all have our pasts. Some of our past too are based on love relationships. Some of our past are based on family relationships. And we take those relationships those experiences that are traumatic into our marriages. So that was my experience of the abuse. And let me say, if you are a spouse, male or female, who abuses his or her wife, or who abuses her husband, please stop. Please stop. There is no amount of beating up that will make the person be the person that you think you want them to be. There is no amount of abuse. There is no amount of emotional words that will say that will make a person shape up into what you think the person is supposed to be like. The only thing that helped me to come out from the trauma was the way that my husband loved me, and it was the way that he was patient enough to understand this girl went through something, and I need to teach her and show her that love is not abuse, but love is life. On that note, let me stop here for now. See you next time. Don't forget to do the 4 important things: like, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends. Till next time, bye for now.